Hey everyone, Thomas Edwards, creator of The Intentional Self and founder of the Professional Wingman, and I want to welcome you to the Weekly Intention. The Weekly Intention shares personal stories of the trials of life, the tribulations and triumphs that come with it, and the gifts through the lessons that are learned that you can take away so you can apply it to your own life with intention. I will remember this. I'll remember to say this without having to look at my laptop. But welcome to another one, and today I want to talk about doubt. Doubt is a very, very powerful entity that can consume your life. When you aren't confident or unsure of yourself, or if you're living in a place where there isn't a lot of certainty, whether it's in your darkest of darkness or your lightest of lightness, there's always a time where you're not really sure of what you can do to really maximize your life or overcome challenges or obstacles or try new things and not sure if you can actually do them, if you're deserving of doing those things, what people are going to say to you, if you're going to be accepted or rejected. And through my over 10 years of coaching, I've always figured out that there's 3 reasons why people don't make that first step towards making transformational change. And they're pretty simple. One is that they're clueless, in the sense that they don't know exactly what's the strategy or the steps or the sequence that is required in order to accomplish or overcome the challenge that they have present. Number 2 is that they're scared. That they have an innate fear of what could happen if they fail, or if they're rejected, or how long it might take. In a world of instant gratification, we don't want to do a lot of things. That's going to take a lot of time, nor do we want to go through the pain of growth. And so there's a lot of fear around that. And then the third reason is that most people come to that they're lazy. And lazy is a very deceiving element, because you wonder, like, I'm not lazy, I'm a hard worker. I do a lot. I actually put in a lot of effort in the things that you do. Laziness is not necessarily a matter of like you not feeling like doing something. I'm sure many of you feel like you're in a place where you want to do something and you just can't seem to move. Well, oftentimes, what I find through my experience and my own personal experience in coaching with others, that laziness comes from a sense of comfort. You know, sometimes you get so comfortable with the pain that you currently have, or the fear that you already know, that you'd rather be with what you know than venture into what you don't. And it gets to a point where you're just okay with dealing with or accepting what you currently have, and not want to make the effort to change things up, even if you knew that success or a better life was on the other side. And so, yeah, of course you're gonna be lazy. You know, if it meant, you know, if you're looking to lose weight and you know that the gym is right around the corner and you should be going there, but you're comfortable, the essential thing is you're avoiding doing the one thing that you know is going to help you, but you'd rather do all these other things. That's a form of laziness. And so there's usually those 3 things. And I remember, you know, when I was in my darkest of dark, you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come out of it. Going through a lot of depression and not understanding what was going on with me emotionally, and dealing with a lot of the responsibilities that I had, it took a huge toll on me. And you know, at first I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. You know, how does one break out of a depression? I was thinking to myself, you know, what's the process? What's the strategy? How do I figure that out? And then, you know, second, I was scared to be open. Right? I mean, for some of you guys seeing the first Weekly Intention, some of you guys who saw me on Facebook Live sharing what was going on with me, there was a lot of fear of, you know, not only admitting my faults, but also admitting that, you know, I need support and I need help through all of this. And third, you know, when you're in a darkness, or if you're feeling the way you do, or maybe things aren't so good, you tend to even become blind to what's actually going on. So you can't even see, let alone see a way out. And eventually you're just comfortable with where you're at. The pain that you don't know, to get out of the pain that you know, seems more painful. So you know, for me, I was very comfortable and became lazy. And I was unknowingly being lazy about it. You know, it wasn't until it got to a breaking point where I had to look at my life and take a really realistic assessment and realize, wow, this shit's not working. And I'm sure you're at a place too, where maybe there's some part of your life, whether it's your dating life, your physical health, your career, whatever it may be, and you're thinking to yourself, man, this is not working. And there's fear behind what can you do to make it better. What's the first step you can take? And I know for me, I had to do something. Because it's not how I wanted to live. This was not working for me, and I needed to do something. And I think when it comes to leadership, being a leader in your career, being a leader in your personal life, it really starts with just actually taking that first step and doing something, taking action. And oftentimes when you think about leadership and you think about the history of leadership, people who've done bold things, amazing things in this world to create a massive change, it is similar to being an activist in your own life, right? You're being an activist for your own life. You're taking a stand for your own life, for a better way to live. That was something that was actually told to me by my therapist. He said, by making the changes that you want and standing firm on them, you are actually becoming an activist for your own life. And when people see how passionate you are about the things that you care about and making a stand for how you want to live, what is really interesting is that people will actually start to rally around you, not only support you, but join you in this movement, join you in this activism of your own life. And you eventually get to influence so many more people beyond you simply based on what you're doing. That's the true power of activism. So imagine taking that and applying it to your own life and taking a stand as to how you want to live in this world, how you want to show up, what you want to represent. That's true leadership. And it really starts with taking the lead of your own life and doing something to create massive change that is important to you. And so, I wrote down the lesson and I want to read it. So, the lesson I want to leave with you is, if you ever want to break out of any stories that you have about anything that you feel is lacking in your life, and I will tell you, there are so many stories you probably tell yourself, there's so many stories I tell myself about what I can and cannot do in this world. And there's two types of stories. There are debilitating stories that will prevent you from doing what it is that you want, such as going to talk to an attractive stranger and trying to create a connection, or asking for a promotion, or deciding to go to the gym for the first time, or going out for that first run, or telling your friends that what they're doing is not something that you stand for. Whatever it may be, you want to immediately position yourself by taking action. You immediately position yourself as someone in control of your own life. And all you have to do is do the focused action, that one thing, that one first step. And oftentimes that's all it takes. All it takes is stepping inside that gym. Figure out how, what you're doing after that. Sometimes it takes just showing up and standing in front of that attractive person that you want to talk to. What you do after that, you can figure it out once you do that. So often we try to figure all of it out, try to figure out all the possible outcomes and sequences and processes before we actually take that first step. And what ends up happening is it becomes a crutch. You start to think that, man, I don't know enough. I'm not ready to take that first step because I don't know enough. Guys, you already know more than enough to take that first step. What happens after is now going to be developed experience that you then can use to get better and better and build that momentum. When I made that first step to, looking out for support, going therapy, fellowship groups, friends, taking a realistic assessment of where I was in my life and what was really important to me, I had to make some very difficult decisions as to who I wanted to hang out with, who I was looking to for support, how I wanted to live in this, in my life, and how I wanted to show up in the world. And they all freaked the crap out of me. I was freaked out. And the thing that made me make that first move was that I know I didn't know how to do all of it, but I knew how to do some of it. And I knew if I just did something, then I would be able to learn how to figure the rest of it out at some point. And I will tell you, spoiler alert, you're not gonna figure everything out. That's not how life works. Life is a journey where you try to figure everything out. And as you continue to live and as you continue to experience things, you come across new experiences, new challenges, new obstacles, where then you have to learn something new. And you're not going to have all the answers. And that's okay too. But your willingness to seek the answers, your willingness to do something about it, truly defines your character and what your life is going to look like. If I didn't make that first step for reaching out and acknowledging that, you know, I'm in pain, or I'm having a struggle with something, or I just need a hug, or anything like that, or I just need support in my business, or I just need advice on something, then I wouldn't be able to be here, being able to share this message. I wouldn't be in a place to help others. And I want you to be able to do that for yourself. That's like the first move, is being able to do that for yourself. So, remember that lesson. You know, become an activist for your life and watch how people rally around you. I remember it was last year when I went through a stage of not drinking. I remember going 90 days. Right now, currently I'm at 31 at the time of this video. I remember going and meeting up with a buddy of mine for brunch, and we went to this amazing hot spot, brunch in LA, you know, close to the water. And the server had come over and asked us if you want anything to drink. Now this place is known for having, you know, unlimited, you know, mimosas and Bloody Marys, and I've had my time with that too. And at that time I wasn't. And I said, hey, like, do you have anything non-alcoholic? And she said, yeah, actually we have non-alcoholic beer. And I was like, yeah, I'll have one of those. And actually I'll have also what I call a famosa, which is basically a mimosa without alcohol. So for those who don't know, mimosa is champagne and orange juice. And so I decided to get a soda water with a splash of orange juice. Looks exactly the same, and in some ways tastes exactly the same, just without the alcohol. And the server said, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Actually, I'll do that. And then my friend who was there, who at the time, I'm not sure what he was thinking, because I didn't tell him that I was not drinking. He had said, you know what, I'm gonna have one of those too. And after the server had walked away, he's like, I like the fact that you're not drinking. In fact, it actually reminded me, I'm about to go to the gym after, you know, we hang out, and so I'm not gonna drink either. And I like this. And just immediately in that moment, unknowingly, you know, I was able to support him on his decision to not drink and not feel the pressure that he had to, just because I chose to make a stand and not drink, especially in an environment where drinking is pretty normal. And these are things that happen pretty routinely, you know, in your life, if that's something that you stand firm on. My decision to go back to not drinking indefinitely is something that people hear and they love. You know, my decision to learn how to swim, you know, it has actually inspired other people to learn how to swim too. You know, you're never too old to learn how to do things. And that's one thing I learned. And I was able to figure out how to swim in a matter of 2 days. Taking on jujitsu was another thing. You know, I tell people about that. And in fact, the reason why I even took jujitsu was because I had a conversation with a dealer at a blackjack table in Vegas that said jujitsu will change my life. And from then on, I took on jujitsu, and yes, indeed, it has changed my life just in terms of my mental and physical capabilities. You know, so, you know, we are all capable of being an activist, not just for our own lives, but for other people, and leadership is all about that. If you're having a struggle, or if there's a challenge that you're looking to overcome across love, lifestyle, leadership, legacy, I'm sure by taking initial action and telling others about it, you're gonna have people come around who are gonna support you and cheer you on and root for you, because people do love you and want your success just as much as you do. You'd be surprised how many people do. Where in your love, lifestyle, leadership, and legacy do you find yourself allowing doubt to hold you back from taking action? You know, where is that doubt coming from? What is that doubt telling you? And what is it causing you not to take action? And then the follow-up to that is, what is your intention to defy that doubt? And how do you plan to do it? What's going to be the single step that you're going to take is to start to defy that doubt, to change the story that you've been telling yourself all this time about why you can't do something, and now create a story of why you can, why you must do something, why you deserve to do that thing. Now, this is one of the things I constantly talk about with my clients, and I support my clients as they go through their journey of transformation. And if this is something that you'd like support with, let's have a call. Let's have a talk. Let's have a Skype. Let's connect. You can go to thomasedwardsjr.com/talk, and we can talk all about it and how we could potentially help shift your life towards transformation and the kind of growth that you want in your life, that you are looking for in your life. There's always opportunity to defy doubt, guys. And all it takes is by just taking one simple action. So let's start defying those doubts we've created for ourselves today. So until the next time, this is Thomas Edwards saying, keep it simple, be amazing, and live intentionally.